What's your reaction to Pete Rose tying that record?
Well, the records are a great part of baseball, and I've had many National League records, and I was particularly fond of this particular record because that's more hits than anybody ever played in the National League, and it took a lot of years of hitting. I played 22 years at the Cardinals, and so I kind of enjoy the record. Of course, now that Pete has tied this record and probably be going to break it in the next few days, why, I'll kind of really be happy for him because I played against him in his last game, and it was my last game in his first season. So I did compete against him for a year or so. Actually, I didn't think the record would be as broken as quickly as it has these past 20 years. So Pete has had an outstanding career. He's played a lot of baseball. He's gotten 200 hits on 10 different occasions. He has a national hit record, a consecutive streak. So if anybody would be breaking my record, why, I'm happy it's Pete because he really is deserving.
Pete last night said that if there's a Major League Baseball strike, why, he'll just get that hit sometime after the strike. After all, it can't last forever. What do you think of the current state of relations between players and management, Stan?
Well, I really think they're on the collision course. It's just too bad he couldn't have this thing settled during the off season rather than waiting till the baseball season. And of course, our fans around the country like baseball so much, and of course we're naturally hoping for a quick settlement, whereas there might not be a strike, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
What are the biggest differences you notice in relations between players and management today versus the relations between players and management in the days you played baseball, Stan?
Well, I think is that the difference is that we settle our own problems within the baseball confines among the players and the owners, whereas it looks like in this particular situation and nowadays that we have some outsiders involved in trying to settle the baseball problems, and it's not working, and it hasn't done the job. So I think that's the main difference, so that we settle our own problems, and all seem to work out very well.
Didn't it seem that in the old days management had much more sway over the players than they do today?
Well, yes, there's no question about it that years ago the management had too much leverage over the players, and it seems that today the players have too much leverage over the management and ownership, the way things are going. So it seems like that this dispute, what they're talking about, is not that big of an issue, but can be settled, and so we just hope and see how it might turn out tomorrow.
One of the big issues, of course, in these current baseball negotiations is free agent compensation, and players nowadays have more of a right to move to whatever team they want to move to display their talents. You were unusual, though, Stan, in the fact that you played all 22 of your major league years with the St. Louis Cardinals, and looking back on that and compared to what the players do nowadays, hop-skipping from one team to another, do you regret the fact that you played all 22 years in St. Louis?
None whatsoever, because St. Louis is a great baseball city. We have great fans there. The Cardinals have a great tradition in the National League, and they've done well through the years. I was happy to be with them all those years, but of course, when you talk about the free agency market, why, I think it's more or less human nature for a ball player to try to test that free agent market and make his best deal he can. So it'd be hard not to.
Do you think today's ball players are overpaid then?
Well, I don't think so in a way. I might think that these ball players today are in the right place at the at the right time, because we have revenues from radio and TV and cable, and parking concessions in the parks are bigger and drawing more fans, so that evidently has been the money around to satisfy some of these owners to pay these enormous salaries. But I think it's getting to a point where one of the problems in our baseball situation is the free agency, whereas the owners are not compensated enough for a player that they might lose. So that's one of the hang-ups in the negotiations that's going on right now.
Let's jump from that topic to another one. What technical improvements do today's ball players need? I'm talking about maybe choking up on the bat handle, running out of play, for example. What improvements do you think the majority of today's ball players need to make them better ball players?
Well, it seems to me that most ball players need more time in the minor leagues. Years ago, we had many leagues, and we had good ball players that got good training in the minor years for 3 or 4 years before they came up. They learned the fundamentals of the game while they were in the minor leagues, and not being rushed up to the major leagues these days, whereas you can see a lot of mental mistakes being made and not playing the game properly. And I would say that to help some of these fellas they would learn how to hit to the opposite field and hit the pitch that they want, and not overstride and just try to meet the ball. But overall, I think they could probably use more minor league training.
What's the cause for this lack of minor league training, in your opinion, Stan? Is it a matter of economics, or is it a matter of owners' greed wanting to get a winner on the field right away? What do you think is the cause of that?
Well, I think expansion has caused a lot of our problems in baseball, the caliber of it, because there are 200 players that are playing now that might not have been in the major leagues and might had more time to get better experience in the minor league. So there's nothing like a minor league experience down in the minor leagues. So it's a great training, and because we need these ball players because of expansion, and all these players at cities they must fill the rosters with. Well, I think that might be one of our problems.
Stan Musial, thank you very much for being with us on Sportsline this evening, and enjoy your restaurant. I might get down there sometime and enjoy some Polish cuisine.
Okay, Mike, nice having you. Nice talking to you. We'll take care of you when you come down.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Mike.
Bye now.
Bye.